Hi, welcome to Ellerby Math Notebook's video on finding scale factor of a dilation. In this video, we're going to look specifically just at that aspect of dilations, finding the scale factor. First, to review, a dilation is a transformation that changes the size of a shape. It can either make the shape larger or smaller, but when the size of the shape changes, it should still be proportional to the original shape. Kind of like when you take an image on a computer and you stretch it from the corners rather than stretch it from the side or the top or the bottom. In the dilation, the ratio at which the shape gets larger or smaller is called the scale factor. If the shape gets larger, the scale factor is greater than 1. In this image here, you can see that to go from the smaller rectangle to the larger rectangle, it was multiplied by a scale factor of 2. To go from 2 to 4, you multiply by 2. And to go from 3 to 6, you also would multiply by 2. And that's how a scale factor would work for these shapes. If the shape is getting smaller, your scale factor is less than 1. By less than 1, that means it's going to be a fraction. So we have the same two rectangles. This time we're just going the other way. So we're going from the bigger shape to the smaller one. And you can see from 4 to 2, you divide by 2. And from 6 to 3, you would divide by 2 as well. If you can just remember whether you're going from big or small, all you have to do is figure out what you're multiplying or dividing by. And that'll be your denominator if it's getting smaller, or that'll just be the answer if it's getting larger. A lot of times you'll see them on a coordinate plane though, and they won't tell you how long each side is. You'll still have to find the scale factor. So on these shapes, you can tell that it's going from large to small, and the way you can tell that it's getting smaller is because the image after the dilation has those little prime marks to it. Those singular quotation marks, those are called primes. So the easiest way to do this when you have a shape is to pick one of the ordered pairs. In this case, I'm going to pick the b's. So we're going to look at b and b prime. To go from b to b prime, we're going from 6, 6 to 2, 2. And you don't have to use necessarily both the x and the y, although you should get the same answer for each of those values. So we're going from 6 to 2. Since it's getting smaller, our scale factor is going to be a fraction. And then, to go from 6 to 2, you would divide by 3. So that would make our scale factor 1/3. Another way you could do this is by counting the amount of the squares for a side length. Sometimes this is a little more difficult if the image after the dilation is like halfway between ordered pairs though. So if you look, that right side there going from B to C, if you count your squares, you have 9 for that side length. And then you count on the image after the dilation, the smaller rectangle has a side length of 3. So to go from 9 to 3, again, you divide by 3. So either way would be possible to find your scale factor. Now you're going to try some. You're going to get 4 problems where you have to find the scale factor of a dilation. You'll be given the correct answers at the end of the video. Ready? Go! Number 1. What is the scale factor of the dilation to the right? Number 2, what is the scale factor of the dilation to the right? Number 3, what is the scale factor of the dilation to the right? And number 4, what is the scale factor of the dilation to the right? Hint on this one, you have to use the ordered pairs. You can't count the side lengths when they're diagonal. Time's up. Let's check your answers to see how you did. Number 1, scale factor would be 1/2. Number 2, scale factor is 4. Number 3, scale factor is 1/3. And number 4, scale factor is 3. How did you do? Once everyone in your group is finished, check to see who has the most correct. The person with the most correct may get a piece of candy from the bin. Hopefully this gives you a better understanding of how to find scale factor from a dilation. On your EOG, transformations oftentimes are on the calculator active part, but as you can see here, there's not a whole lot you could necessarily use the calculator for. Every so often, these do show up on the gridded response, so hopefully you are able to figure out the scale factor.